Radiant team, ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand finals of Dota Pit Southeast Asia. Qualifier action. It's Faceless taking on MVP, best of 5 series winner. We'll go to the land finals in early 2017 for $125,000 plus in prize money. I'm LD. I am joined here today by Ryu Boris. How you doing, Ryu?
Remaining. 5 seconds.
Well, I don't really have a sleep schedule anymore, so Dota has broken me. You know, I went to bed at like 8 p.m. so I could wake up around 4 or 5 a.m., get ready to cast at 6, and I woke up at midnight, so... You know, I just got done getting back on a North American schedule because we had the Smash Summit going on, and been, trying to help out with that event as much as possible. And then right when I get back on the schedule, all of a sudden I'm casting South again. But good news is, excellent Dota ahead of us. So Faceless taking on MVP, and man, MVP, they ran the Pudge IO with a Leshrac last game. They may have a couple of new faces on the roster, but this team is not afraid to bring out their old style of play. Having quite a few switch-ups. Of course, Faceless, I think, coming into the series as significant favorites. They do seem like the top dogs in SEA. But MVP, to me, is probably on like that top 2 or 3 list of teams after them who have a decent shot to take down.
Timbersaw!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, I mean, Naga, there's quite a few teams in the region that like to run that hero. Mineski, obviously, perhaps the team that relies on the Naga the most with Miracle, but now MVP going to go the OD here, so they get some pure damage that bypasses that reactive armor. Here they can match up quite well against Timbersaw late game. And obviously, between the Coddle and the OD, your team should never be running out of mana, so... This is like this is the mana factory where Magitech is born. So yeah, we'll see. MVP though lacking any reliable stuns. They don't have a great way to take objectives right now, so definitely some holes in the draft. But and their laning stage looks a little weak as far as threatening kills or controlling those runes. But obviously that's what the Ogre gives you, as you mentioned, amongst other things. And MVP still with a couple of picks here to balance that out.
Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team, ban. Dire team.
Yeah, with the Nyx ban, certainly does make the Keeper of the Light OD a bit more appealing. Even Timbersaw can struggle a bit against that hero as far as being controlled in the fights, although you might not be able to kill him straight up. So, for Faceless, generally they do pick a hard carry for Black, so like Morphlane has go-to for him. Maybe not the best matchup versus the OD. They're going to hold off on the carry pick for now. They take the Warlock. So, the Warlock Ogre, probably like top 2 of the 3 most popular support in the region. Great team fight. Good 5-man potential, but Wondering what that black hard carry will be. Morphling AM, they've run the Void for him as well. Trying to think what else.
5 seconds remaining.
Admiral Kunkka.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alright, well, let's see what they want to do. For now, MVP, they take the Kunkka, so that gives them some setup, some team fight, a lot of magic damage, and could enable the cheeky siege engine. We've often seen this coupled, like, I guess back in the eye, especially with the Juggernaut, a strategy that Lanham in particular really popularized for eHome. But it doesn't have to be. Although no like real instant reliable stuns for MVP, which is a slight concern for me moving forward, and no real reliable way to shut down a Timbersaws movement fight. So you can X him, you can monolink him, which is pretty annoying, but it's not like a full solution.
Sniper!
Well, that's the laning solution to the OD. It also gives them some siege. Not really the best catch on MVP. Like, you can X the sniper, but as long as he's not out of position to begin with, it doesn't really help you catch him all that much. So, I'm liking the sniper pick a lot here. It's not normally for a while. I think go back to MDL a couple months ago, and sniper was like even first stage ban worthy, but it's more of a situational mid counter pick it seems nowadays. And hey, with the Bloodlust, that's a really good comp. Oh, hey, Ryu, sorry to interrupt, but make sure you turn on your mic in Dota 2 if you didn't already. It's very early here in the US, guys. We're waking up, or trying to stay awake, I think, in poor Ryu's case, but...
It's team, right? Just to make sure, or is it party?
You choose the bottom one,
Yep.
I think. I'll just double check.
Open.
Yeah, it's open mic team. So MVP, they get the Slark. Now, obviously a QO special at TI, something that he often would just take games over with. Can match up really well against the sniper. To here they can get on him in the backlines. Gives them the late game potential for sure. And pretty good Slark game, man. They've already picked the Ogre and the Warlock. There is a decent amount of AoE, but there's like no real control for the Slark.
Yeah, only thing Slark hates playing against is Timbersaw here. Like, Timbersaw can crush a Slark anytime in this game, but is the solution, like you said, to the supports, to the sniper. Honestly, I think MVP, this would be a very good Spirit Breaker off lane. Like, there's no more Clockwork, there's no more Slardar. You don't have anything to really set up anything. They might just want to go even more team fight though, like a standard, Tide Hunter or something here, but yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
That's nothing too crazy as far as the picks go, but a little twist here and there. Definitely enjoying that. Interesting to see the Drow ignore it. Actually, we didn't really talk about her, but she's been increasingly coming back into vogue, I would say, at least for a lot of the SEA teams. But MVP, 5th pick now. Still not a single proper stun. I guess they'll be looking for their offlaner here. So what is it going to be? Are we going to see like that Axe, Tidehunter? What are you thinking?
Oh, wouldn't guess the Pudge in a while.
Pudge again. Well, talk about a hero that can make Sniper miserable.
This is a very good hero against Timbersaw too. Like he has pure damage, and then the rot is magical. So a lot of this is it counters that. It can counter a lot of bad positioning, and yeah, to the sniper too. He has to make sure he's always in position. This is something a lot of the NA Dota teams run, like Monkeys Forever and Jenkins from the past. They run this off lane pudge, and they can get a lot done. They just need to, and if you ever get in a bad situation, you can get some really clutch suicides off. So you're just like, okay, well, the enemy team just wasted so much time and then nothing happened. So Faceless now, what do they need? They need a carry for Black, as we talked about. We already discussed, like Luna and Morphling.
Yeah,
I think
Morphling doesn't seem great against OD Slark.
No.
Think what else? Anti-mage is a little, has its downsides, and
Yeah, there we go.
seems like kind of a good mix of something that can fight a bit better earlier. It's not really hard countered by any of the MVP heroes. Allows them to take objectives with the sniper, another bloodlust buddy for the ogre. So guys, I do want to mention it is in fact a best of 5 grand finals, so we're in here for the long call. We'll try and get the overlay update for the next draft. But yeah, not a BO3. This is a BO5. The other thing that's great with the Pudge, obviously, they have the Astral and they have the X, so they have a lot of setup for Hook this game.
Yep, and also the best thing about that Juggernaut last pick, it counters Coddle too. The blast you can just heal through, so that's one of the main problems when you approach like high ground or towers. It's like, okay, well you have this Coddle blast, and then what do we do? Well, we have a healing ward now, and we can deal with that. That also helps them a little bit with Roshan now, because they didn't have any way to like quickly get that. But with Juggernaut, with the crits and Sniper, they should be able to get Roche fast. So. This will be an interesting
Alright guys, we'll get underway here with our opening game 1 of this best of 5 showdown, Faceless. On MVP. I'm gonna fix my camera settings real quick. But yeah, Ryu, how would you kind of compare the two lineups in terms of the overall strategy here? What are the two teams looking for, and do you favor either draft overall?
I think Faceless have the better late game just because you have Sniper. So I think they want to try and just hold on and just make sure their Timbersaw doesn't get shut down too hard in this game, so he can come online, because he is the counter to Slark in this game. So they're going to hold out for that. Whereas MVP, they want to split push the map as much as possible with the Coddle, with the Slark, get pickoffs everywhere around the map, and then just try and approach high ground as best they can, because their high ground is atrocious. So it's going to be on this Pudge to do a lot this game.
It really is bad. I mean, OD is just bad at hitting buildings. Slark, I guess, is okay for the poke damage this game, and there's not really the best way to catch him. But at the same time, if Sniper's farmed, he can just sit back and shoot you whenever you walk up to hit the structure. So I guess that a lot of that will come down to the farm distribution and how these cores perform. So we just see early boots on Ryzen on the Kunkka. Definitely feels like a game where the Kunkka and the Pudge are going to be hugely important here as far as that early roaming impact. The little skirmish will break out of the river early. Hook attempted, but the banish is going to prevent Velo from finding a target. Instead, QO is going to go down. XY just lumbers in, and Beefy Ogre backs away, but that banish hook combo not on point.
Yeah, they were like, okay, I have this hook. Well, you don't need to actually banish. And then the idea with the banish is like, okay, we can fight a 3v5, but wait, Pudge skilled hook, he's on the high ground, and then he misses. So
yeah, it's not a great way to start a fight. Ay. Well, I mean, they just ran the Pudge last game, so it's not like they haven't practiced it. We are going to see Ryzen hanging out mid, and it is going to be Velo going to the offlane as the Pudge, so he'll get the early experience here. We've seen the support Pudge at times experimented with, but he will be the one getting the level. The Kunkka's going to be just trying to help out mid. We'll find the Sniper. No boots up, but at the same time, no boots for the OD, and Ryzen just like a wet noodle at this stage.
And Faceless have done a really good job. They knew it was going to be a Pudge off lane, so what do? They just send up Ice. They go aggro tri-lane because they have a super strong tri-lane with the Warlock Ogre and these heroes, so Timber's going to have a nice time in this off lane. Slark has to rotate now, and they can't even kill Timbersaw right now because Pudge has hook level 1. This is very bad.
It looks like they want to dodge that aggression, and meanwhile in the mid lane there will be a banish after the Torrent, and then Velo comes in. Pudge already getting active, poor little jabs. He's like, let me get some CS. All right, I'm gonna spend my gold. He buys the boots, the TP, and then he goes down. So pretty poised response there. And
That
it
was really
a,
good.
A
He didn't give a
efficient.
kill to them. He gave the kill to Radiant.
And the tower took the kill on top of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a full deny, but hey, that's about as good as you're gonna get for that level of commitment to bringing him down.
Exactly. I think that was actually worth it for Faceless. Like, there's so many rotations. Pudge is still level 1. Hook.
You don't want to trade with Ogre, my friend. He has got 8 armor. You have 1, so you will grab the Invisor and then sneak away to bottom.
That was cheeky.
Very cute, but it's tough. Pudge, 1 base armor, melee hero up against the Jug, who's already far ahead and away towards the upgraded boots. Lane's not good. I mean, Jug versus Pudge is just not a good lane for the Pudge. Got a level advantage, and this is already a farm and level disadvantage. Black, who's 15 and 6.
And mid lane QO, it's the last 6 of the shrapnel. Caught that at the end. But, they're playing too aggressive there.
Faceless off to a good start here, leading 2-1, and really more than that, given how much MVP had to commit for that sniper kill. And you can already see Black, a very bully action on Vela on the bottom lane. Won't find the kill, the hook into the tower. That is probably the main way he could get a kill, but really sidestepped by Black.
No, it's just the way they've kind of picked themselves into this situation where Faceless can just do anything and win all 3 of their lanes. So
These
this is
lanes,
look...
I mean, how do you adjust here as MVP? Like, you have to get levels on the Pudge.
Yep.
You know, the Kunkka is just not really going to benefit that much from them, and he is meant to be the support, so, you know, he's not really moving early. He's losing the lane to the Juggernaut. The other laning setup didn't seem great. Is there anything better they can do?
Slark has 4 CS.
And Dubu's dying. Gandalf down again. Easy for Faceless. I mean, what kind of adjustment can they even make, Ryu? This looks pretty abysmal.
When your Slark has 4 CS, I don't even know what he does. Maybe go mid lane or something. At this point, he might do better. This is going to be terrible for them. Slark is one of those heroes that has to have a really good start if he wants to succeed. He needs to have a fast Shadow Blade in this game to just go around everywhere, as we talked about in Split Push. But at this rate, he might not get a Shadow Blade by the time this is over.
Yeah, QO even not having the best time mid, despite the amount of support he's been getting. There's a party of 4 heroes hanging out near that middle lane. They've just sacked that off lane entirely. Looks like they're going to be roaming around with the Pudge, trying to find hooks on mid, but there's an Observer Ward still here, which is going to scout Velo out, so he knows exactly what MVP are up to. I mean, even so, if he gets banished, he may die, but it's 3 hero commitment for that. Meanwhile, free farming the safe lane is Mr. Ice Ice Ice. He's up against 3 melee heroes. He's already level 5. I'm not sure this gets any better for MVP once we get to the mid game. It might get worse.
Yeah, they're doing what they should be doing right now is Pudge should be smoking with the Kunkka and them doing this big smoke wraparound onto the mid lane. The only lane they can kill is the mid. So they're smart that they're here, but their execution is very lacking. They're just kind of like just hovering around waiting for maybe QO to get an Astral, but that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, and you can see that Faceless are very aware that that's the main lane with kill opportunities. Velo trying to leech experience wherever he can, but Ice 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 already just cutting the wave, completely zoning him out from the tower, also allowing the Warlock of Nice, almost level 5 by the way, so he's been getting 3 pulls and experience up here to have his way with him. Again, the hook fishing, Velo connected on the big one.
Ice 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 dropping his tangos. Here you go, buddy, you need it.
I mean,
Taunting.
it's not like Pudge is going to do anything to him. He'd probably enjoy being hooked into the tower. That's an easy kill. Tower's going to drop real soon, and Ryzen wants to contest it, but not sure how much a Kunkka Pudge combo can do. He's going to go into the deny with the X. Doesn't manage to get it. Ice 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 takes that last hit. He can now move on to Ryzen, maybe force out a bit low on mana. Do want to point out, went for the Oov here just to dominate the lane. A little bit unusual for Timbersaw, but feeling like he can be totally in charge, and he's got the Arcane Boot. So tower down, Warlock level 6 coming soon, Jug free farming, Sniper doing pretty well mid. I mean, basically they're having their cake, they're eating it too, and they're doing that while sipping on a pina colada as well.
Yeah, this is you can't.
Look at the gold lead, man. It's 5,000.
This is the biggest stomp I've ever seen, like, at this moment, without having, like, more than, you know, 3 kills.
Do you want to hook this man? He got a DD roost. Alright, well there are 3 of them. Okay, they'll get X-Fire here, it looks like.
3 heroes.
If it's only 1 or 2, he might just turn around and kill you with DD Ogre, but they will manage to get that kill bid on the least important Faceless hero in the game.
He needed 3 heads. That was his only chance.
3 heads greater than 2. Simple math. And, well, Febby, he is trying to catch up here. 17 CS. Slowly getting back into the game, but the pressure is going to mount rather rapidly as they bring Ice 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 down bottom. Now that he's level 6 with the cloak, he's just going to lane against Febby. Good luck, MVP, trying to stop this. Febby leaping out, doesn't even have his ultimate yet. They'll chain forward and work on the Dubu. Good hook by Velo to keep him alive, and Ice 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 is out of mana here. There might be some kill potential, but he's very tanky. He's got 12 reactive armor stacks. Oh, the beefcakes just chuckle at MVP's quad lane. Can't even come close to scratching them.
Thank God Kata was there to burn all of Ice 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 mana, else that would have been...
And almost die in the process, mind you. He's back to the well now.
Oh boy.
Sleep Sniper just AFK mid, Black AFK top. You know, this has really been the story of this Faceless team, is like every single game, either through draft or good roaming, Ice 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 occupies like double the normal attention you want to be giving to the enemy offlaner. Black and Jabs just really farm.
Yep. Ice 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 is just getting too much. Like, Elk Snipes? Nope.
A little pass there to Velo, goes for the Hoka. Body stepping away, and meanwhile, top rune, Black assassinating QO on the OD. So the one hero that had an okay laning stage, he too will also fall. Black moves into mid, has the Mango, the level 2 healing ward. And honestly, Velo, he'll try to defend this one, but he does have to be careful. He gets scouted out here. He is relatively low. With the Tranquil Boots will be healing back up. They're going to bring in the Kunkka, no boat available yet. And moving into position is X-Fi, who sees Velo. He comes the stun. Now the follow Shrapnel comes through. I think they lose the punch here too. The crit actually enables the suicide deny. A lucky crit for MVP in that case, dare I say it. Black gonna back out, but I mean this is just not looking good for MVP all the same. Now almost the 6,000 gold advantage.
And it's just the... Well, at least the one good thing is they're not falling behind on their supports. That's like the only thing I could say that's good. Sometimes at this stage in the game you'd have like level 2 or 3 supports, whereas they have managed to get their levels. Kunkka will have his 6 soon, and Kato is getting a lot of levels in the bottom lane, so... It's not all doom and gloom, but definitely it's going to be realistically almost impossible for them to come back, because once this Warlock, he's got his 6, and he's going on a warding mission. Nope, he's going to run away.
Very confident maneuver for the Warlock, just strutting around in the Radiant jungle. Actually, Radiant did smoke, but if it wasn't scouted, they at least saw those heroes in the neighborhood, and Ice 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 there to break the smoke. The hardest hero to kill right now, but he is going to be banished and isolated while Velo starts to look for nuts. 3 hero rock, but not a whole lot of follow-up for this. He heals himself, he will end up going down, and meanwhile it looks like Ice 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 did get away to the well, so he'll make it out. The rock committed for very little. He pretty happy with that outcome though. Poke being thrown out, the Slark leaping at the Golem, but the Golem just waltzing away. They will finally get it. The last tick goes to QO, so some much needed gold into his pockets. But Jeb's still pushing out the mid lane, that tower's dropping low, Black's still farming top. I mean, if it's a victory for MVP, it's not coming without some kind of trade.
When you have the 5-mana Golem, you know the state of this game. It's just... You kind of like would... Like, the Warlock shouldn't have probably used his ulti there. He could have saved it for the team fight, but I feel like it even baited them even more to just, you know, go on and attack it.
They even TP'd in the Slark. They're like, oh, he dropped the Golem. We gotta kill this.
We gotta kill. Oh, Ice 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 could be in trouble here.
And he already used his TP earlier when he went back to the well. 10 seconds. Unavailable. Boat coming in. It's gonna connect. Oh, this will be a big kill. The Banish
He's healing
is there,
up through it,
and
though.
he is healing during this time of react armor sex, but at the same time, the extra damage from that nuke will be enough to finish him off. Still though, they kill Ice Ice Ice, but was it worth it? Black coming in with the Omni. He's gonna end up killing just the Kunkka. Bounces back, but QO's gonna be next. The Banish there basically ensured the Kunkka's demise. And now onto Febby, who tries to leap away, but Jab's on the chase. He's got an assassinate available. Not even needed. Gets the kill. Just a couple of auto attacks on the shrapnel there. So all of a sudden, you take our precious Ice Faceless, take your entire team and the tower.
Finally, Faceless had enough of this. We're like, okay, we don't need to split push you anymore. We're just gonna TP all of our guys down. We're gonna save our buddy, and we're gonna put some pressure on. Now they can just take over the enemy jungle, like Nuts wanted to do earlier. And
you've got some heroes that just come back very well, like Pudge, OD. These are heroes that don't farm especially well, but they are going to try for a Hulk. Nicely done onto the top lane. They'll find Jab in the tree line with Debbie there. Easy catch, and even a Dragonlance Sniper with the raindrops is no match for that level of aggression. So a good maneuver by MVP. Finding those kinds of openings will get tougher as these towers drop. All 3 tier 1s now down, the deep lane ward's getting planted. So it's a nice kill, but how many more will they get before they lose all their map control?
yeah, the next thing for Faceless, as you say, it should be to get this tier 2 bottom and or Roshan. So once they have that online, then they can start sieging down these tier 2 towers. And because MVP are so far behind, they have to split up the map as best they can. And that just opens up, as we said, for Faceless to just do whatever they want. Like they can take this bottom tier 2, and then afterwards probably will go to Roche.
I think you made a good point that the healing ward really is a great counter to keep her the light steep push, and we're going to see that in action here. Blast comes out, they do even get a Monolith off, but Ice, he doesn't care because he's busy hitting that building. Another Illuminate, healing ward going to negate that as well. I mean, for light, not feeling like a hero as far as tower defense goes. Still brings you that mobility, but those towers falling in the aggressive wards, he might not be able to get out on the map, so...
He
Okay,
smoked. XY smoked like when Black was there and it showed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's going to swing around now through the mid lane. Moving from bottom to top of your screens and roaming past the big camp. Drop down another ward, so the net really been laid out here. They will find that hook again. It's on Ice though this time. Not the sniper, he's a tougher kill. The ODO comes in, out of mana, out of options. He will go down. The rock connects as well. Or sorry, not the rock, the boat. And now the rock comes out in turn, but XY from behind. Ogre's mad, he wants a piece of QO. He'll club him down.
Oh, flanky spanky from Black. He's gonna get a solo kill her. Keep.
Assassinate, Omni. Oh, no, the Assassinate is gonna get the mini stun cancel on the TP. They'll secure that kill. And now, Black chase deeper. Observer ward and sentry planted down. They know there's a dire ups in the neighborhood. Dubu needs to get the hell out. Get back to safety while Black sweeps around and they almost saw the Pudge. Not quite though. Even sees Febby mid. Doesn't have a way to deal with that Slark's ultimate and pounce out. So for now, Slark will live to fight another day, but 2 heroes falling again. Dice. He's being slowed down quite a bit, but at the same time, he's not really trying to play the hard carry here. He's gone for a hood. He's going to back off into the soul rain only now, so it's not like a bloodstone rush where he's really counting on those charges at the same time.
This is one of those games where you should go for the hood first. They just have everything about them is just magic damage burst. Dubu will not get bursted here, but Ice. The thing is, MVP are trying for these pickoffs, but they're not turning them into any objectives mid lane.
Well, and it's hard to make that deep rotation when mobility of Faceless is just superior. With Bloodlust, with all their tier 1 towers up, you can easily react to these movements, and what they'll do, they scout out Velo, trying to go for a hook. He will be forced back, and you know, honestly, Ryu, this is just kind of the issue with Pudge. The hero excels at playing from ahead, but if you're playing with a tower disadvantage, no wards on the map, and you haven't gotten the levels going, enemy heroes are tanky, more difficult to bring down, to have an impact here. He currently 2 and 3, he's done okay. Meanwhile, bottom lane though, they have got Ice again, already committing the hood. He will get banished mid-chain, but that is also going to buy time for Faceless to come in, try to back him up. How much can they commit? The OD ult not available for 35 seconds. He'll steal some in, but he won't be able to secure the kill. The Torrent coming through. Nice Torrent there in XY. They have to scramble to get away now. Dubu, TP, cooling down for a few more seconds. He'll make it out. This kill is just so tough to come by with all those tier 1s still up.
They're trying their best to do something on the map. That's kudos to MVP. You know, they're at least going out. You can't just stay by your tier 2 towers and hope things can happen. Like you said, Pudge thrives. Like as you were trying to talk about, going for these kills and at nighttime. So when it's nighttime like that, and they have the Pudge plus the Slark, they want to be go, go, go everywhere on the map because they have more vision. It's easier to hit hooks because like they have less vision for the enemy. But now, here they go, it's daytime. Black, this could be a juicy kill.
They got him, but he got off the spin at the same time. Boat gonna crash in. He definitely sidesteps that. There will be an X, but there's no Torn follow-up. The Monolith comes in. Oh, the combo of spells there. Not quite enough to take Black down, and now he's gonna look for the turn. Ice coming in. Hey, little wizard. Come right back here. Black gonna try to finish off Dubu. Seppuku to the tower, denying the Juggernaut the last hit there. But meanwhile in the mid lane, Sark gets forced back at the same time, and they did manage to de-ward that high ground Ops ward on their own side of the map, but that really did scout out a lot of MVP's movement there. And you can also see they even de-warded their jungle, so they've done a pretty good job with the de-wards here, Ryu, despite the kills continuing to go Faceless.
Yeah, both teams have been on their de-warding game, and also, like you're talking about there, when you make a Pudge hook like that, obviously there's going to be a ward somewhere, but Faces don't really care about that right now. They just want to take all these outer tier 2 towers. Huh? There's an X.
Side is getting healed up nicely by the Warlock. Good Ignite lob on the QO as XY stays out in front, but here comes the sniper scene, and he just sits way back. Drops the shrapnel, slinks into the tower with that, what is it, like 1050 attack rate, 1090 attack rate, excuse me. Good hook, no, but no more muscle there to counter. And now the shot from Nice trying to get out, but the combo is perfect from MVP. They nail the post, they slam down the hammer, and they will get free. They want jabs as well. I think Bevy's gonna find him too. Oh, these hooks are starting to really pay off. Omni comes out the other way, though it assassinates 1, 2, almost 3 with Bevy forced back, saving the Juggernaut and the Sniper. Now Ryzen trying to TP out, will barely make it. They had such a great start to that fight, but the carries of Faceless already just looking a bit too far, and where even when Sniper gets caught, he just turns around and starts wailing away at them.
Yeah, you can see Pudge why he's such a good counter to Timbersaw. Like that pure damage plus all the magic damage, even though they have the hood, it doesn't matter. You get dismembered and everything, and you even have the arcane orb wailing away on him too. So Timbersaw is not as tanky as you would think in this game, but Black, as you said, coming in there at the end to help his team out. And they need to make sure that he's there for these sieges on the tier 2s or just any towers, because that healing ward, as we talked about, it's a main source of their sustain until this ogre has his mechanism.
Yeah, and you imagine if the healing ward keeps the Timbersaw alive for another round of nukes. I mean, he honestly probably would have been at full health there when he got hooked instead of half, so
Yep.
a huge difference for the team. The Jabs grabbing the Maelstrom now. Black went back into a Battle Fury, and with the Bloodlust and these two carries, like, honestly, I think it's like you said, they do have the late game, and plan B, if they ever start to feel like they can't really siege head on an MVP and just turbo farm the map, the only hero that could even close to keeping up is really the Slark, and it's gonna struggle to do even that against a Battle Fury Juggernaut and especially with the Bloodlust and a Sniper with Maelstrom.
Yeah, Bevy still did a really nice job at recovering this game, though, from that abysmal start. He had like 4 CS at like 4 or 5 minutes in the game, and they finally rotated him bottom. He got a lot of levels. He has his Echo Saber now, but he can't really pick off anyone in this game besides Warlock. Ogre, I think, can just TP out, so maybe the Sniper, but he's all tanky. Is he going for a BKB next?
Sniper?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely could be. I mean, what else? What else?
Like,
would
there's
even make
Sange and
sense there?
Joshua, but that doesn't necessarily
Halberd
do anything.
doesn't really seem necessary because, I mean, I guess you can use it on Slark. Okay. It's not really much of a sniper item. I think BKB is really good here, though. It's like, for the same reason the hood's good, BKB is really strong. Tons of magic damage.
Oh, Pudge cat.
Oh, you're not very sneaky, man. Hey, fat man, come back here. Faceless. Beating down the grizzled veteran Pudge with
They
these.
saw him through the trees. The trees couldn't even hide him.
I mean, maybe if he lost a little weight, he could hide. Oh, beef kick like that is not going to be able to stay out of stability for too long, especially given the lack of camouflage. Black torrented here in the mid lane. Siege commences in earnest. They gotta force the Timbersaw to move, or he's gonna have all his mana for the upcoming fight. And now the Hurricane Pike. easily for the OD for whatever good it'll do. Aegis up on Black though, healing ward. Not being sniped, they don't have a great hero to bring this down. No one is particularly long range, and now the torrent. Again, just a decent way to counter that X-Torrent combo for Black is just spinning. So instead they're focusing their attention on Ice, but already the tower's down. And I want to wait for the next healing ward if they're really playing it safe. Oh, they actually back away. Febby was maybe scouted here. They're pinging in the neighborhood anyway. Not gonna be able to keep up with this courier. Desperately trying to hunt it down. And the courier already juking. Oh, pounces in and getting rage for the Echo Saber attack. We'll make it out. Febby just trying so hard to make plays for the.
He wouldn't. He would love to have this.
He's still going.
Oh
He's
my
gonna find
God.
it. All right, Febby. Yeah,
All right.
that's commitment.
That's dedication.
You marry this guy, he ain't never gonna give up on you. Well, TP Shadowblade to make it out.
Very smart for Faceless though to grab the gem. It's only 22 minutes in, but they know that they can only really lose this game if Slark gets too many pickoffs. So they're just farming as a group, going around as a group. They have the item necessary to counter it, but the one thing Faceless is kind of lacking is their supports having a lot of farm or anything. Warlock here for Nuts is going to go back for a Midas. He's got an Urn.
QO pushing himself into what looks like trouble. Nuts did not drop the golem though. Now we'll let it go. Connects on two and lays into Velo. Oh, that follow-up damage. Black and Jebs annihilate them. The armor is just not there. Even with the chainmail, they easily shred two, and they do so without committing the Aegis. They now have a Manta complete on Black. Faceless just gonna storm down the top lane, while Ice will shove out bottom. It's completed now, a Bloodstone. Start dealing with Febby here, so they get the kills and they continue to farm all the while. In fact, Ice threatening for the solo kill on Febby. They do not have the gem just yet on him, but XY is now carrying one, so gotta be careful. Chain out. Taking so much time, like already you can see Dubu and Ryzen running all the way bottom to try and find this kill, but too late. Ice is out of there. Frees up the top lane for another easy tower. That is the last outer tower for Team MVP.
Really good job of Faceless. And Ice. He knows that there's no reason for Slark to come back on him like that. Very close to his tier 1 tower, so he just immediately backs away. So, the next thing for them is going to be breaching high ground. They already took that tier 3 in the bottom, so that's where they're most likely going to approach. Febby needs to be very careful. If he dies here.
He's already down 5k to Black. It's not going to get any better with the death. MVP frantically TPing out. Ice finds 2 of them. But they are away. Step B2 will escape.
One of those times you just wish there's like 5 minutes more in the game and you'd have your Yules or something. I think could have at least got one of those kills.
So, meanwhile, Jab has completed the BKB. That's the one hero that they can reliably try to go on, or at least it seemed like they could, but now you hook him and it's only the Slark who can even hope to bring this guy down. He will complete a Silver Edge. I guess that's their best tool for dealing with Ice, to disable the reactive armor.
Yeah, the thing about Pudge is, when you hook somebody, you know, 100% of the time you'll get off spin unless somebody else stuns, but they don't have an instant stun as we talked about during the draft. Nobody else has one until you have like a Scythe or something. So Jug will always get off his spin, and Sniper will always get off his BKB, even if you're hooked. And that's the main problem, as you're talking about, that they have right now. Like, sure, you catch one of the cores. Let's see. He wanted it. He wanted it. He got it.
Oh, there's the hook, but BKB from Jabs, he just turns and starts gunning them down. He's gonna back away for a little bit. Febby engaging onto him, but even Febby's got to be careful about committing too much. Ice, meanwhile cleaning up the Pudge, and now the Rock is gonna get dropped. He has to commit suicide to get away. QO forced back by the Fatal Bonds, and Febby chipping in and out of the fight, but unable to bring cores low, and this time they have that healing word. 5 heroes at full HP, fully into siege mode, while Ryzen's busy dealing with this Jug Illusion. Dubu shredded apart by Ice. Nice jump forward with the chain. They get a full lane of racks. They back out safely. And it began with Pudge getting what he thought was fight opening hook, but in fact, a couple pure kills. Febby runs in, multi-catch. They have the gem ready. X gonna hold Faceless back together with the Torrent, but the damage is done. Roshan potentially only 2 minutes off respawn, and now the BOTs come out, as well as the Scotty for Jug, the mech complete on Ogre. MVP just not even close to being able to match those items.
And that's the problem. Pudge can't hook Sniper, Pudge can't hook Juggernaut, so he has to find one of the other 3 cores to hook. Else they're going to lose the fight every single time like that, because they just don't have anything to deal with the BKB now.
I mean, you don't really want to hook the Ogre either when he's as tanky as he is.
It's like Warlock
ideal
or
target
Timber.
is probably Warlock, but even he's got a Ghost Scepter, so you know, potentially can be a bit trickier to bring down if you're relying on the Slark to hit him.
And you can't kill Black anymore. He got a Scotty. Oh
yeah,
my.
that's not even counting the spin and the Omni, like you already mentioned.
Jeez.
Yeah, Faceless have to make really big mistakes, and it's not easy to do that.
I'm just
Got
looking at Pudge and his items.
Insurance policy.
How is Pudge the lowest net worth? Oh, that's feels bad.
I mean, what is he supposed to do? Oh, hey, Puka. Velo trying to run away here, but XY on the chase. He's going to stun the OD. He knows Velo's already dead. And out comes the Chakram. That'll get kill number 1. They're going to look for QO. Kill number 2 has the TP, but vanishes. Trying to buy time. They're even bringing this heavy. Normally, Spark does pretty well against Jug in these fights, but I just don't know if he has the firepower to be able to stand toe-to-toe with the Yarn Samurai, and indeed, not even close. Black just shrugs it off, turns away from the Fishman, kills off his wizard buddy, and make it a 3-0. That's without an Omni Slash, without a rock. Anything really ventured, not even Sniper BKB.
And they have to make these plays, no matter what. Like, if you stay in your base, you're just gonna lose the game outright because, as we talked about earlier, Faceless have the better late game. So you have to make these plays around the map, and I don't fault MVP for doing it, but they're going out on the map blind, trying to find something, and Faceless has done a nice job for the last 15 minutes of managing to stick together as like 2 or 3 and farming, and they never get caught out. So it's really nice to watch them as they like group farm or group up and do stuff.
You know, Faceless is really such a contrast to MVP in terms of their style. Like, you look at the way that they draft, the way they play. They always pick late game. They pick stable lanes. They have like a very well-rounded draft generally. Whereas MVP, if they're not all in on the lanes, they're at least heavily in on them, generally speaking, or that like 5 to 15 minute mark to find a lot of ganks and map control. And Faceless just don't give those kills up easily. Even if they give up a kill here or there, it's normally punished with farm in the other lanes, or potentially objectives like the tower, like Roshan being taken, and Febby wanting to dive jabs, but I don't even think he wins that fight with a Mjolnir now complete on the Sniper. So maybe he could force out a BKB if he was lucky. But yeah, matchup-wise, and you look at the style of these two teams, I wonder if MVP's traditional face rush, snowbally style is even going to work, given how strong defensively Faceless seem to be. They may have to change it up heading into future games in the series.
No, I'm just trying to figure out why they wanted to pick Coddle, and then they just did like a complete 180 away from it, because Coddle, I see what they wanted to do this game. They wanted to go around the map and try to get all these kills and whatnot, but as you said, you have to survive the laning stage. So, and you said they kind of all on it, so maybe they should go back for like Juggernaut themselves, or just something stronger to just be able to win these lanes early on.
Yeah, it's hard to see how they can take away a good like laning draft from Faceless, right? Because who do you ban? Which, like, if you remove, say, the Ogre, they'll just take Undying. That's been a go-to for them. Normally in the qualifiers, teams were banning 2 out of 3 of, we'll see a scan that guts out the throat, but I don't really think they're going to do too much about it. Aegis goes inside, but he would generally ban out 2 out of 3 of like Undying, Ogre, and Warlock, but that still leaves one of those heroes normally available for Faceless unless you want to take it. All of Ice's heroes, Black has a completely open draft. Like, it doesn't come without consequences, and I don't know, it's tough. They can run Coddle, they've done it before. We've seen them run Disruptor at times effectively. I mean, it's just not easy to like, oh, we're just gonna deny them the good laning heroes, because they have such deep hero pools on their cores as well as even on XY and Nuts. Oh, the hook out. Gonna pull Febby back towards quote-unquote safety. His Velo says, I'll take one for the team here. Will he get clubbed down? Oh, makes it out in time. But the chase is now on Febby. He has the chakram caught by the follow-up whirling death. And indeed, it is death he will find. While meanwhile in the mid lane, Black shows his head. He's completed now on top of all his other items. A full BKB. And there is just not enough physical damage to compete. Slark has only one true damage item, I would say, in the Echo Saber. We don't see any tier 4 items at 32 minutes in, and he's going back for PP, so... Good luck killing these cores. I mean, hell, good luck killing the supports as we're about.
And
more
nothing
Faceless
that goes through BKBs. It's just...
Yeah.
That's
No
plain and
hex,
simple.
no basher, no damage. They got nothing right.
Hello.
He's going in. Hilo lobbing out the hook, and as I happily will collect that additional kill. Healer Ward gets dropped, a high ground siege commences, and, you know, MVP, they might have been the direct invite for the Boston Major, but Faceless, they're looking like the team from Southeast Asia to beat. Perhaps all those extra games they played in the qualifiers are really aiding them here. They start to close in, nearly scored a Game 1 victory in this best of 5. A lot of Dota like yet to be played in this series, but it's certainly looking like Faceless are in their comfort zone as the winner bracket champions. Take down that top lane of Rex. It's now 2 lanes. It's about V3. They might try for a couple of garbage time kills here, but there's just no stopping the siege engine. Jug hammering away on buildings. Jats killing off OD near his own well. He gets hooked back to safety, and Jats is going to turn. Maybe Febby gets that first kill, but remember, he's got Aegis. He's coming right back. Yeah, that's all she wrote, man. They can try to get a kill or two, but it's over. Freaking over.
Black is like, alright guys, you can kill my team. I'm just gonna go objective gaming.
Focus here. Scotty. Able to run down the OD. That's 3. And the GG's come out. So MVP just completely outclassed the game number 1. They never led this game. It honestly never felt like they were coming back. They never even had a Faceless trade as I see it.
Yeah, this wasn't even a game, guys. It was fine. It's fine. They'll come back the next game. I promise.
I can't emphasize enough how badly they got beaten, okay? They got spanked.